Hello again, my name is Amos, Tarfa. In this video I want to quickly talk about one thing that is important with regards to marriage preparation. We live in times where the idea of commitment is a problem for many people. I think about the situation that our young people face today. They have so much in terms of abundance and options. I mean, you go to the grocery store and you have all sorts of cereals. And you go to, to buy a car, and there's so many options of different types of cars and different trim levels. And even when I go to certain restaurants, they tell me, would you like this meal with potatoes, with this and that? And then you pick that category. Then they ask, would you like a muffin with this or that flavor? And you're thinking, wow, so many options. And then when it comes to the issue of marriage, they have to recognize that when it comes to this issue, I need to stay committed. I need to, if I'm going into this covenant, you say the vows and you say till death do us part. You're recognizing that no matter what's out there, I am going to stop and I'm going to make a commitment to this person. So what's interesting is that our young people need to recognize that the state of affairs with the abundance of options is not necessarily the way reality always works. As a matter of fact, there's many people in the world that don't have all those options that we might have. Let me explain this in another way. When you think about the fact that you can pick from all these options of all these different kinds of things, and then you're told, when it comes to this matter, this is how it's going to be. Some people cannot recognize and reconcile that reality sometimes demands of you to make a commitment to a circumstance, and that's where you stay. And I'm not saying people who are married are always grumpy about the state of affairs there, but this helps us to recognize why some people might not stay committed in a marriage. And we have to recognize that marriage instituted by God is something that we need to take very seriously. I want to end with one quick analogy. As part of my job, I work in a certain field called medical physics, and part of what I do involves traveling to different cities. And sometimes we have to stay at different hotels in different cities. And one of the things I find interesting is that the world of hotels, which again, is nice to have the option of having a hotel and all that, but here's what's interesting. In a hotel, you might have the luxury of, for example, having everything done for you and everything changed and this, that, and the other. Every day you can have everything changed. You can have a new pen and paper, because I like pens and paper. So you have these pens and the paper, and you can have it changed out every day. And you can have, whatever you want in many settings in the hotel, okay? But when you leave the hotel and you go back to life as normal, you begin to realize that wasn't reality. That's not how life is all the time. It's not every day that you get a new set of everything. So the hotel is just a context that meets a certain need. Therefore, when you get back to life as normal, you go back home, you make sure you function as you should. Don't think that everything is going to be new every day. But people don't do that sometimes when they need to in life. And I'm talking about the case in question, or the point in question, which is on marriage. We need to recognize that just because we have technology where we can click on things and get certain things done immediately, we shouldn't bring that mentality to marriage, thinking that our spouse is, this, and this needs to happen similar to the way my smartphone responds when I tell it and when I do. That's not the way it works. So we have to be careful that our worldview and our thinking based on our technology is not actually influencing how we operate in marriage. Let me end with one final example. In a marriage, patience is very important. And if we are going to have this idea of instant, and then we go to marriage without learning that patience is key, then we're going to have a lot of problems. We need to be very careful and recognize that patience is something that has to be built even in a culture where you can almost get anything you want when you want it. I want a book today. I can order it and get it on the Kindle. Or I want a product tomorrow. I can order it and get it by Amazon Prime the next day. Well, the reality is that in marriage, you would recognize some things take time. So I want to encourage young people, especially those who are not married, to think about these things, to think about the importance of patience, to make sure that you make time to pray, to think through things, and not just to expect that your spouse is going to be perfect. I'm going to do more videos on marriage preparation, but this is one of the first ones, encouraging us to recognize that sometimes what we face is not actually reality. Just like what you face when you go to a hotel sometimes. That's not reality all the time. Some of those things are just for that day or for that season you're at the hotel. But when you go back to life as normal, make sure you do your dishes. Make sure you do the things you need to do. And when it comes to marriage, make sure you're careful not to be inconsiderate, but learn to be patient with your spouse. Learn to encourage them. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for your time.